Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Kotak Mutual Fund presents Invest Mentor in association with Network 18.
Hello and welcome to this special show. Kotak Mutual Fund presents Invest Mentor in association with Network 18, an investor education initiative by Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund. Now, in this half-hour episode, we will talk about why we have started this Invest Mentor series and how mutual funds can help you realize your dreams, building wealth in a sustainable, systematic manner to meet your short, medium and long-term goals. So where does one begin and what all do you need to keep in mind while entering the world of mutual fund investing? To discuss this and more, we have with us today Nilesh Shah, Group President and Managing Director of Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company Limited. Nilesh, thank you so much for taking out the time and for joining us on this conversation. And I know to a lot of people it would seem like a very obvious question, why mutual funds? But then, and you would know this better than most of us, including myself, that it's still a young journey when it comes to investing via mutual funds in India, is it not?
Undoubtedly, Surabhi. When we look at past, we feel happy that we have created more than 2.4 crore unique folios, unique investors, and more than 9 crore folios. But when I step out of my house and talk to my watchman, when I talk to my driver, when I talk to my maid, they are hardly aware about mutual fund. Their money gets parked either in cash or in gold or in chit funds, which sooner or later, becomes bankrupt. More than 100,000 crore has been destroyed in collective investment schemes over last 2 decades based on preliminary Google search. I'm sure this number is far more than what we have found out by searching on Google. So this is our approach to make mutual fund broad-based.
So Nilesh, great. Then let's start with the basic step. In case there's someone watching this program who's never invested in mutual funds, so simplify it down for this first-time investor. How exactly is this collective system of investments coming together, and why is it perhaps a safer route for new investors rather than entering any market, equity market or debt market, on your own?
So first and most important, mutual funds are well regulated. Our transparency levels is better than even Western worlds. And we have seen over the years, SEBI regulations have created a fairly well-managed mutual fund industry. Number 2, you can start with as little as 100 rupee. Number 3, you can invest on a digital basis. Almost 100% of our transactions happens digitally. What we have seen in collective investment scheme, that they were able to target people who were ignored by banking industry or financial services industry, including mutual funds. They will collect in 10 rupee, 50 rupee, 100 rupee. They will come daily to collect. We have converted that entire model on the digital side. You can invest using your smartphone or using your other phone. You can invest whenever you want, and you can invest with as minimum as 100. Mutual fund industry provides a safer route to common men in order to beat inflation.
Sure. So the model, I guess, is clear. It's quite simple that, hundreds and thousands and millions of people come together, people like you and me, pool in as much as money as we want to. And then team of experts, they decide how to invest this money, what kind of stocks to buy into, and they invest on our behalf. And they're, of course, we believe that they're wiser than us. We don't have such understanding of the market. So they will ensure that we get good commensurate returns. Speaking of returns, since we're on the basics right now, Nilesh, what kind of an expectation should one have while investing via mutual funds, and what are the kind of costs that one should be aware of? So how does the entire setup work when we're getting in a mutual fund?
So certainly, Surabhi, we are not in charity business. We are charging our services for a fee. Think of mutual fund as a restaurant where you can order whatever you want to order from the menu. We have low cost index funds, ETFs. We have high cost sectoral funds, and so on and so forth. Each investor can decide what they want to do. If you want to invest into index, we have index funds and ETFs. You want to invest on an asset allocator basis where fund managers can decide where they should be investing in debt or equity, we can provide that. If you want to trust our fund management skill, we have actively managed fund. So depending upon the investor's requirement, we can create product from one-day investments to 10-year plus investments, from absolutely safe overnight funds to high-risk, high-return sectoral fund, from passive ETFs, low-cost ETFs to actively managed funds. This is entire menu available, and each investor can choose what is appropriate for him or her.
Okay, so there you go, viewers, whoever's listening into this conversation, it depends on the kind of mutual fund product that you are going to use, and then the costs will of course vary accordingly. So then let's come down to the needs, Nilesh. For a first-time investor, it can be a little confusing, though I know there's a lot of information now available, and then of course one can watch programs like these, one can go on this Investmentor website as well and get more information. But how to begin? First of all, at my end, I need to decide how much money I'm going to set aside every month, or if there's a lump sum, pot of cash that I have. That homework I need to do at my end. What else? What's the next step? How do I get into this?
So, Surabhi, one important thing is that income minus expenses is not what you invest in mutual funds. It is income minus your investment will be what you will be spending. So the habit of savings is absolutely critical. Second, you have to make regular investment. If you are a salaried person, out of whatever salary you receive on a monthly basis, set aside something for future. If you are a businessman, try to take out some money from business every month for your future. This habit of regular investment is extremely critical. Third is a long-term investment. There is a saying in Gujarati, ke utavare amba na pake. You can't grow a mango at a very, very quick pace. You have to wait for 12 years to get good mango. Same way, investment is all about long term. You can't expect overnight results because businesses don't get built overnight. And final thing is about asset allocation. See, equities will give great return over a longer term, but it also comes with volatility. Debt will give you safety, but it also comes with lower return. So you need to create that ideal mix of debt, equity, real estate, offshore funds, commodities, whereby you can outperform inflation and whereby the volatility is comfortable to you. So my request to every investor is do a regular saving, be a long-term investor, and maintain a disciplined asset allocation so that volatility becomes your friend and not your enemy.
Okay, fair enough. Those are three very important points that everybody must keep in mind as you're starting out your investment journey. And perhaps it also helps to keep an advisor by your side if you're doing this and if you're relatively new to the world of markets. Now, you mentioned being disciplined for a long period of time, Nilesh. So I want to ask you about this phrase that all the wise men in the market always use, the power of compounding. Simplify this and tell our viewers what this really means and the beauty that it can really unleash.
So power of compounding was illustrated by one Jataka tale. There was a king who, invited Brahmin and asked that Pandit, what do you want from me? And Pandit said, I just need 1 grain of rice. And king said, at least ask something more. He said, no, Maharaj, I want 1 grain of rice, which will be 1 grain in the 1 square of chess. And in second, you will put 1 plus 1, 2. In third, you will put 4, and so on and so forth. The king didn't realize what he was getting into, but the Pandit used power of compounding to gain a very, very valuable corpus or very, very large quantity of rice. The king later on realized that he didn't have that much rice in his stores to pay the Pandit. This tale is actually about compounding. When you keep money for a longer term basis, it keeps on earning on itself. It keeps on accruing on itself. When you keep cash at home, there is no interest on it. But when you put money in mutual fund, in bank deposits and insurance policies, it keeps on earning on a regular basis. It just doesn't sleep. And this compounding can create wonder over a period of time. 1 rupee invested today could be 100 rupee tomorrow, 10,000 rupee day after tomorrow. What Archimedes said, that you give me a place to stand and a pulley and I will lift the earth. Same way it is possible to achieve any amount of money which you want in future by doing compounding and by doing long-term investment.
Okay, all right. So there you go, a small little tale that illustrates a point that is so powerful when it comes to long-term wealth creation. Well, Nilesh, stay on because we have more questions. We are going to take a break, and on the other side, we shift this conversation to a lot of people who are trying to make that transition. Nilesh mentioned you can keep your money in fixed deposits as well, but a lot of people want to move away from that traditional way of saving into something perhaps smarter, something where returns will be better off. So how do mutual funds fit into this goal? We'll discuss this after the break.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Invest Mentor in association with Network 18. Kotak Mutual Fund presents Invest Mentor in association with Network 18.
Welcome back. You're with us in this special conversation, the Invest Mentor with Kotak Mutual Fund, and we are talking with Nilesh Shah, who is the Group President and Managing Director of Kotak Mahindra AMC. So Nilesh, now let's carry the point forward. You did mention that, at least better than keeping cash in your house, you might put it in the bank. But perhaps a smarter way would be to look at a vehicle like mutual funds. Now, tell us, for someone who's looking to make that shift now and looking to, let's say, get into the world of equities by nature are a little risky. What is a safe way to begin? Now, herein, we will also talk about the type of products. You mentioned there are index funds which simply mirror an index. Is that a good starting point? Is a large cap fund a good starting point? How does one begin?
So equity is a risk, but what is the definition of risk? Risk is not knowing a thing. Moment I know that if I touch fire, it will burn my hand. Thereafter, fire is no longer a risk, because after that, if I touch fire, it is a conscious decision. Similarly, equity is volatile. Equity goes up and down. But once people know it, then it's no longer a risk, because you will be able to adjust yourself according to that volatility. My recommendation to investors will be, first understand equity. Know that it goes up and down like a roller coaster. And when you try to get out in between, then there is a chance that it may cause you an injury. But if you stay on the roller coaster ride with safety belt on, at the end of the journey, you will enjoy that I have taken a good ride. The same is true in equity mutual fund. We have a range of equity mutual funds available. For extremely conservative investor, there is debt hybrid scheme or equity savings scheme, where somewhere between 25 to 40% is invested in equity. We also have balanced fund, where about 70% is invested in equity. And then we have index fund, large cap fund, large and mid cap fund, multi cap fund, small cap fund, sectoral fund. So again, like a restaurant, there is complete menu available. One can choose depending upon their risk profile. And if you get confused with so many funds, the best thing is to approach to a mutual fund distributor who can carve out a portfolio according to your risk and according to your investment objective.
Okay, so let me come back to a point that you made earlier, and you mentioned asset allocation. So does it start with asset allocation? Should that be step one? And then step two is fund selection, or the other way around? You go with the fund depending on where it is in the riskometer. By the way, viewers, there's a riskometer which SEBI mandates, which tells you more or less about the risk level associated with the fund. So what comes first, Nilesh?
The starting point is to draw a financial plan for yourself. I want to save for educating my daughter. I want to save for my son's marriage. I want to save for some medical emergency, to save for my retirement. Whatever the objective, put it onto a paper and create a financial plan. That financial plan will give you asset allocation. That asset allocation will lead you to creation of a portfolio across different clients, different kinds of mutual funds. And then either you will be doing systematic investment plan on a regular basis, or you will be doing systematic transfer plan to attain certain level of allocation. So start with a financial plan, decide which assets you are investing, then choose mutual funds, and then use SIP or STP route to build that portfolio.
Okay. Now, Nilesh, I want to superimpose some of this basic information that you've given us to the current time, because we do live in a world where there's a lot of news, there's a lot of information, and we all know that the market is in gung-ho mode right now. We've just come off the budget. So it's very natural for investors, even the first-time investors, to get a little carried away with the talk of the market. People are talking about mid-cap funds these days. You should get into thematic funds like infrastructure, etc. Even new investors would not want to, so to say, miss the bus. So how does one balance out both of these things? And then right now, for a relatively new investor with medium risk appetite, what kind of fund categories, let's say, would you advise on if you were an advisor?
So my recommendation to all new investors will be that please follow the same discipline when you board a train to, let's say, go from Mumbai to Jaipur. In Bombay Central, when you enter a train, you will see some local trains running past by you. You don't jump from that train to get into a local train because it is running faster and ahead of you. You stay on board your train and wait for it to reach Jaipur. Same way, once you have drawn a financial plan, it doesn't matter whether some funds have delivered extra return or your neighbor has made more money. Please stick to your financial plan. Second, in terms of mutual fund, there is different risk return profile. Mid-cap funds will deliver better return, but it will come at the cost of high volatility. Now, the biggest mistake investor makes is that they chase momentum. They buy what has already gone up and they sell what has not gone up. In reality, you have to do exactly ulta. There are various studies done in US as well as in India, which has said that the fund's return and investors' return are not necessarily alike. Investors make far less return than the fund because they try to time the market. It is like jumping from a passenger train to a local train to a goods train because they were running ahead. Don't make that mistake. Stay committed to your plan, give it a time, and you will see the benefits of that coming through.
Okay, that's very, very beautifully explained. I have a great visual in front of me in terms of these trains moving on parallel tracks. You need to be very clear about which train you're on and what your destination is. That's beautifully explained, Nilesh. Let's actually talk also about a certain category of people where traditional wisdom perhaps is being challenged now. And now I'm talking about people who are actually in their late 50s, perhaps even 60s, senior citizens. Now, traditional wisdom told us that you should be full up in equity when you're young. That's when you can take risk. And then gradually your debt investment should increase, or your cash holding should increase as you grow older, so that you have access to that money and less risk. But now, I hear a lot of planners talk about the fact that from 60, assuming you live another 20 years, you need to ensure that your retirement corpus compounds. So even old people need to be in equity. First of all, do you agree with this argument? And if you do, then what advice would you give to this set of people? Because they might also be fairly new to the whole mutual fund world.
So undoubtedly, whether you are young or old, you need your investment objective and financial plan. Now let's look at a 60-year-old person in different light. One 60-year-old person believes that he wants to leave an inheritance for his grandkids. Now, his risk profile is completely different. There's another 60-year-old person who has no one else to fall upon, and he needs money so that his retirement life can be good. His risk profile will be completely different. Both of these persons are 60-year-old, but their asset allocation will be at variance. It doesn't mean that first person can put 100% in equity or risk assets. It doesn't mean that the second person should not touch equity, but the proportion of risk which they take will be completely different. So each one should first look at their objective and then their risk profile and then build a portfolio.
Okay, fair enough. So, just in connection with that, you did mention that obviously investing systematically at regular intervals is very, very important. So does that mean that you are not someone who would support generally the concept of lump sum investing? Because for this category of individuals, there would be a lump sum actually. If you've got your PF money or your gratuity, there's that pot. And should one be investing it entirely or staggering it out? Generally speaking, across age groups, what's a better approach?
So if you can be like Kumbhakarna, invest today and get up after 14 years to check the portfolio, lump sum is absolutely appropriate. But I believe in Ramayana times, there was no mutual fund. Otherwise, Ravan would have just sent a mutual fund distributor to show Kumbhakarna his mutual fund account and he would have gotten up. So what I will recommend investors is that suppose if you get a lump sum money, then you have to look at what is the valuation of the market. For example, if we were in March, April, May 2020 period, I would have still recommended systematic transfer plan to invest in equity. But because valuation was cheap, I would have said, let's invest in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I would not have invested, let's do it over 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Now, if as we speak today, markets have run up, they have become fairly valued. Now, at this point of time, there's no point in investing in lump sum. You try to invest on systematic transfer plan, but over next 1 year or 2 years rather than over next 3 months. So looking at the valuation, you can increase or decrease your entry point via systematic transfer plan. Now, there are some people who says we want fund which is fill it, shut it, forget it kind of thing. Now, for that purpose, there are two funds available. One is balance advantage fund category, where fund manager decides to divide between debt and equity, and asset allocator fund, where fund manager decides to divide between various asset classes, including debt, equity, offshore funds, and so on and so forth. So if you have to invest in lump sum because you don't have time, you don't have energy, then go for balance advantage fund for debt equity allocation or asset allocator fund for debt equity and other asset class allocation.
All right, Nilesh, this has been a great start, and I think it's whet our appetite to know more about mutual funds on the equity side, on the debt side, and of course make sure that we are on the path to long-term wealth creation. Thank you for your time today. Viewers, remember that you will keep hearing several interesting conversations in the times to come. You can also, in the meantime, of course, check out the Investmentor website. The details are on your screen, and we will see you with another interesting conversation on mutual funds next week.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Investmentor in association with Network 18.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.